So today we are going to learn about one more important topic, that is session management using HTTP session. Okay, so in our last class we have covered session management using URL rewriting. So the cookies are disabled or enabled, that does not matter. It sends only the text information to maintain the state or session. Okay, but in the session management using HTTP session, so for the session tracking, cookies has been one of the most commonly used techniques that is being used for the session management. Okay, so what is the best part by using the cookies, right? They can only the cookies can be used for the textual information. They are Cookies are basically dependent on browser, so that are the cookies that will reside inside the browser cache, right? If the cookies are disabled from on the system, then the cookies, if you implement cookies, then that will not work. So make sure whenever you are working with cookie, so the cookies in your system, that should be enabled. Okay. And but today our agenda is to work with the session HTTP session, right? HTTP session. So whenever the user sends the request, HTTP session is the interface. So whenever user or client sends the request to the server, then for each request, the servlet container will create one unique ID. Okay. So by using that unique ID, we can maintain the session from the HTTP session. Okay. So how we are going to use the session ID, so that we are going to see as part of this video. Okay, what we can do, we can create the object of HTTP session from the out of the request. So we can get the request ID, and what we can do, we can set the attribute, whatever the attribute we want to set as part of the session, and that we will get in the corresponding servlets. Okay, so let me quickly jump into this application development, so that you will be getting better idea for your understanding. Okay, so I have as usual, I have made the structure to save some time. So here, what I'm going to do, first I will develop one login page. Okay, so as it is, it's a uh, form name is like login form. Okay, login form. Login form method is equals to post, and action is nothing but the URL, that is login. Okay, so this is the form, and here we will take only the username. Input type is text, and name is equals to uh, user name. Okay, so this is the user, and what I will do, I will do br for the line break, and then we'll submit that form. Input type is submit. And value is login. Okay, this is the form we have uh, okay, this is the form we have written. Okay. So now what we will do, we will create one servlet which will map to this login request. Okay, so as usual, login, this is the login servlet. To make it servlet, it should be extends from one of the servlet, that is HTTP servlet. And here I'm going to override alt enter. So I'm going to override the post method, and I will write the code inside the try catch block. uh, Exception e, and sysout, I'll print the e. Okay, response dot set content type, this is text slash html. Then print writer is equals to response dot get writer. Okay, then what we'll do, we'll capture the username what we have passed as part of the form. That username is equal to request dot get parameter. Okay, that is user name. Okay, this is the username we got, and username we got. Here what we will do, we'll create the http session, okay, http session. So first what we'll do, like http session http session is equals to request dot get session. Okay, so what it will do, it will create the session. Okay, so get session, it will create the session. If the session is not there, so it will create the session. So what we'll do, I will get the string session id. I just wanted to print the session id, because each servlet, for each request, it will create one session id. To see that what is the session id it is creating, and we'll set that and we'll see what is the session id at the end. Okay, so it is a request dot get id, sorry, not request, the session, http session dot get id. Will get the session id here. Okay, session id. And once we got that, then we need to set the attribute. Okay, what we will do, I will set the attribute. Okay, what we will do, set, then mm, once we get this these things, so what we'll do, we'll set the attribute. Okay, http session dot set attribute. uh, Attribute is the key value means name. What is it? Name is okay, so name is whatever the username we got, that will make as key, and will the value is this one. Okay, so again, http session dot set attribute, and this session id also we will send. Okay, session id is the session id, and session id. Once we set that, what we'll do, we'll call the uh, we'll call the uh, next servlet. Okay, so there are many ways we can forward our request. So we'll forward the request, we'll delegate our request by using the request dispatcher, or we can use forward include redirect message also, respond dot get redirect. Okay, that also we can use. But here what I'm going to do here is, like, writer dot println anchor tag I will provide here. Okay, a h ahref is equals to ahref is equals to uh, this is href is sorry, welcome servlet, to welcome servlet, it will redirect. Once that is done, then I will close that, and I will provide click me plus uh, plus pr. Okay, session id set attribute. Okay, if I do, we are printing anything here, session attribute. Okay, so here also, here we can give also PR. Okay, that will not affect. Click me, then ASREF. Okay, let me close the anchor tag. Okay, that's all for this one. And writer dot close, we'll close the stream. Okay, so we have printed the session ID or not? Okay, we have not printed. So before setting that, writer dot println and the http, not this one, username. What is the username? What is the username? What is the okay, username, this one, and we'll pass writer dot, we'll just printing this one. Okay, session id will print, session id will also print. Okay, the session id we are printing here. Okay, so now, so what I'll do, I will create one more servlet, that is welcome servlet, extends http http servlet, and I will override alt insert, then override the do get method. Okay, do get method, uh, try catch exception e, then s out e. Okay, then response dot set content type html text text slash html. Okay, and then print writer is equals to response dot get writer. Okay, once we get that, so now what we'll do, we'll create the http session. Okay, http session http session http session is equals to request dot get session. We'll obtain the session. Okay, we'll obtain the session here. uh, Once we get that, then we'll try to get string username. Okay, whatever the username is equals to http session we have set before. What we have done here, we have set the attribute to http session. This is the username. Okay, this is the username we have set. Then here what we'll do, we'll get the username http session dot get attribute. What is that? User session. Okay, that is the thing we'll get, and we have to cast here because this is will get object, right? We'll cast to string, and similarly string session id is equals to http session dot get attribute. What is that session id? This is the key. Okay, and this is the key session id. We'll get the session id. We need to cast that. Okay, we need to cast to string. Okay, once we cast that, then we'll print that. We'll print that. We'll print that just to see what is what, right? What is the username? Okay, username and writer dot println session id. Okay, session id plus session id. Okay, we'll print that, and we'll close the session. Okay, so close the writer. Okay, so what I have done here is, like, we have written this one, and the form where where we are sending only the username. Okay, username, it will come to the login page. We are creating inside the login page, we are capturing the username and creating the session object, and here we are setting the session set attribute to the session, the username and session id, and here we are clicking providing the hyperlink to redirect the request to the welcome page. Okay, once the welcome page, so here the same session will maintain, right? Or it should not it should not create a new one. To maintain that, what I have done is I've created one more. To maintain that, I've created one more session. Then we are getting the attribute and we're printing. Okay, that's all. This is how we can work with the http session. Now the time to deploy the application to see whether that is reflecting or not. Okay, then session management using http session. Okay, then run. For each request, how many times will give the request, that many times the unique session id will be created by the servlet. Okay, the container. Okay, let me try to give that. Oh, okay, the servlet we are not mapped actually URL. Login, here we have not provided any web.xml or servlet, web servlet. Then value is /login, and welcome servlet also will be the same. web servlet value is slash welcome. Okay, so again restart. Okay, refresh this one. So management is resource session management out. Class welcome login. Okay, login. Okay, so login servlet login form we have declared here, but it is not able to detect. So what we have to do inside the web.xml, we need to provide that this is our welcome file. Okay, so welcome file list login.html. Okay, this is our welcome file. This time it should work. Okay, let me refresh this one. Now it's loading. Okay, so I will write John is the user. Once I click, see, username is John. Session ID I have space I have not provided. So session ID is this session ID it is created. Okay, for on the login screen. Okay, once I click, okay, plus it came. Okay, okay. Once I click this one, click me, then it will go to the welcome page. I have copied this session ID. Will match the session ID same or not? Okay, the session ID. Let me say copy this one. Session ID you can see 2CB79DE same. The same session ID we are getting. So this is how we can work with the HTTP session, which will create unique session ID for each request. Okay, so if another request will come for the same, then the new session ID it will create. Okay, let me check. Let me do it for you uh, right away. So here I will try open one more browser. So uh, this is Smith. Okay, Smith is the user. Is trying to log in. See TE00 DEE06D. So here 2CB, so 2CB7960. CB798809 for mean do welcome.servlet request.get session false. Okay, it will not create new one. See, I have tried for one more user. So you can see one more user is Roy. If I click that one, so this you can see you can sorry okay, you can see this user session ID is 44779BD. So this is TEE6D. Okay, this user and this user is different. Okay, so what we have to you have to do whenever you are creating the session for the same, what you have to do, you can directly create request.get session, but you need to pass the false. If you pass false argument, then what it will do, it will, if that session is already there, so it will not create another session. Okay, so you remember, returns a current session associated with the request. If there is no current session and create is true, returns a new session. Okay, so mind. Okay, so I hope HTTP session. I hope it is clear to everyone, like how to work with the HTTP session while working with the session management using HTTP session. Okay, okay. So then, so that's all for this video. We'll meet in the next video with a new topic. Okay, till then. Bye bye. Thank you.